I never thought I'd get to the point actually saying this. I never imagined this, but it's happening. It's here. People have seen it live. Get that video. Have seen it live on my read-through channel, Cole Requiem. Link in the box below. I like Asta.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I like Asta. I roll with it. I do. I've been reading the Black Clover series from chapter 1. Right now on chapter 26, starting volume 4. So I'm at the very beginning of Black Clover at this point in time. There's 2 streams for that so far. Both are again on the Cole Requiem channel. Now, I couldn't stand Asta watching the anime. I just could not. Like, you know! I'm like, yo, Asta was so unbearable. On the regular, I had to drop it. I'm like, no, I can't stomach it. Asta was so bad that even the voice actor of Asta said he yells way too much. I can imagine. A subtle cancer is guaranteed when voice acting Asta. Like, that's how bad it is. However, reading the manga, I don't have to deal with every other minute. Of course, actually like listening to it. So when you read it, I mean, to me, I think the manga is 100% better than the anime. Just for that one simple fact. Now, I do understand that it does die down later on in the series, but when you're getting into a series, it can kind of throw you off and just turn you off, and that's what happened to me. It just, done, didn't care, didn't want to know anything about Black Clover. Done. Now, I thought, based on my experience with the anime, that Asta was going to be more like a Natsu Dragon Eel, which, to me, no, that's a no. Even though he does have Asta, Natsu-like tendencies, it's nowhere near to the same extent as Natsu, not even close. In many respects, he's very standard for a shonen character. However, number one is that I do like Asta's model for a shonen main character, protagonist, rather than, let's say, someone like Deku or Himari Born Tsunayoshi, because it just doesn't jive with me. Deku, for me, is not one of the best parts of My Hero. It's characters like Bakugo or characters like Endeavor that are far superior characters, I'd argue, than someone like Deku. Not only in terms of what jives with me, but just as an overall character, and the character growth and character development, and so on. Asta, I jive with more in terms of his model of character. And then, on top of that, I respect the hustle. I really do. Asta, given his position, given his struggle, not only in flashbacks, continuously training over and over and over and over and over again to be the Magic King, considering how he could not use magic and in fact has now anti-magic. So in one way that's a boon, obviously, given the magic world he's in, but on the flip side, if Asta actually didn't put in time in the weight room, Asta wouldn't be as effective as he is. And it's that hustle that I respect tremendously. Asta never forgets to hone his craft, to always try and get more merits to become the Wizard King. And even though he does have those Nakama #1 tendencies, he still has his eyes on the prize every day. And I dig that. And I can understand now the reason why so many Black Clover fans compare Deku to Asta. Because starting off with chapter 1 or episode 1 of My Hero Academia, Midoriya would talk about how he wanted to be one of the greatest heroes or the greatest hero, but he never really put in that work to actually be a hero. Despite his disability of not having a quirk, he never really put in the hours. He never really put in the time in any way, shape, or form to hone his skills, whatever that would be for Deku. Asta, to me, is kind of like what I wanted Deku to be. Not saying that in the grand scheme of the story, what happened to Deku was bad. Not really, no. But what I am saying is that if I had a preference, it would be what happens with Asta. Nose to the grindstone, working out every damn day, putting in those miles, putting in the work to achieve his goal every day, not slacking. Even throwing his life on the line if he needed to. Despite his inability to use magic, despite his failures in public in front of many people, nose to the grindstone, not looking back, forever focused on his dream no matter what until his death. I respect the hell out of that. I do. The main thing is Asta's hustle. I respect Asta's hustle.
Put some respect on it.
And because Asta, you can say it's his lack of IQ, like many other shonen main characters. Fair enough. But at the same time, Asta focuses on his own craft, honing his own skills, making sure that he can achieve his dream every waking moment. Locked into himself. And I think in a very healthy way compared to a lot of other shonen main characters. I'll put it like that. Because not only does he earnestly want to do it despite his predicament, which you can say is akin to, let's say, a handy-capable person trying to achieve their goals despite their physical limitations, no matter what. Running in a marathon or cycling, stuff like that. No matter what, despite their physical body's condition, they're gonna get it done. And that's very respectable. That's very respectable. But it also plays out very well with Yuno. The Asta and Yuno dynamic is a very healthy dynamic. They're rivals, but they don't try to hinder one another, but only try and elevate themselves, which I can also appreciate. Like, I think that's actually a very healthy rivalry. When I think about shonen rivalries, Asta's and Yuno's rivalry, at this point in time, seems to be, when it comes to just health, like for the sake of their mental health, for my mental health, it works. It does work, absolutely. And so far, I like where it's going. So I'm not saying, because it's very early to call at this point in time whether Black Clover is a good or bad series. Right now, I have like a 6.5, maybe a 7 at times, because everything at this point in time where I am in the manga is very, very standard. At some point in the future, I'm gonna do an update on my stance on Black Clover, like the entire series, like my thoughts on it so far, because probably like by chapter 100, you know, because I'll probably get that far at this point in time. Unless chapters, let's say 26 to 36 just absolutely suck D, or the art style falls off, or things like that. So at this point in time, I think I'm on track to reach chapter 100. I think so, absolutely. This early on in the series, no real great villains. The world building is actually there, where we have the Clover Kingdom, and now we have the Diamond Kingdom stuff that just happened latest arc of the one I read for Black Clover. And then the characters so far are all right, though a lot of folks preach by this one guy, Fuego Leon Vermilion. So we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. So far, Black Clover, it's not bad.
Not bad, not bad.
And part of the reason why is, for this video, obviously, even though in the anime I was like, I can't, no. In the manga, okay, Asta, okay, all right. I can mess with it, absolutely. And plus, the fact that Noelle and now Mimosa are all about Asta,
Put some respect on it.
I do like Asta at this point in time more than Deku. Yes. Deku's not high on my main character list of characters that I like, of shonen characters. He's not. But Asta has superseded Deku, yes. Now, is he up there with guys like Luffy, or let's say Alibaba Saluja from Magi, or Toriko from Toriko? No. But at this rate, by chapter 100, I actually may like Asta more than Naruto. My distaste for Naruto will never subside.
NANI?
Yeah. If things maintain pace or they get better. So even though Asta looks like Tyler 1 with spiky hair, all yoked out, but barely 4'5", I'm gonna give Asta a thumbs up. Okay, so I'm gonna see y'all later. Let me understand on the subject matter at hand. And well, don't spoil me, but you know, yeah, don't say anything, okay? I'm gonna see y'all later. Take care, have a nice one.